Hi, Danielle. I don't know if you can hear me. Looks like you're still connecting. Just getting ready to get started. Hopefully some others join. We're in week 5 of our Wednesday afternoon meditations together. These are being live streamed on YouTube and recorded for later access, for anytime access. It's been a real privilege to be here doing these. It's a real benefit for me. So I'm going to go ahead and just wait another minute or so. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Scott.
Hello.
Always nice to see your face. All right. Looks like Daniela is having trouble connecting. Daniela, if you can hear me, you might want to get out and come back in. All right, it's just 12:30. So for those of you who just scrambled in, I'm assuming it was a scramble, maybe not. Get settled. As always, you are welcome to have your video on or off, entirely up to you, whenever's comfortable. But I'm just glad to have you here and to have some folks doing this in community. So welcome to week 5 of our Wednesday afternoon meditations. All right, so get comfortable, get settled. Feet flat on the floor, arms gently relaxed, hands on your lap, not holding on to anything. Hopefully letting go of distractions. It can be helpful to close your eyes if you feel like you can stay awake. You can always have soft eyes where your eyes are just gently open and you have a spot on the floor in front of you that you're focused on. But so much of our intake of stimulation is visual. And so often if we can shut that off by closing our eyes, we can tune in to other aspects, which can really help with developing those mindfulness muscles. So just get comfortable. Just exhale any excess tension or breath that you feel like you're holding, that often we don't realize we're holding on to. And today we're going to talk about demystifying meditation. Recognizing how simple it can be, how short it can be, and how accommodating it can be. And we can really fit it in to our day in multiple occasions. And it starts with the breath. Often just closing our eyes, becoming grounded in the moment, just exhaling and letting go of any tension or anything that we're holding on to. That exact process takes about 30 seconds. That is a meditation in and of itself. We can do that throughout our day. Either when we mindfully recognize that we need that, or we can build it in some sort of schedule with alarms or things like every time you see something green, you can close your eyes and exhale, ground yourself. You could tie something around a finger as a reminder. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can build in reminders to have just a basic check-in with yourself process. You exhale that tension and you just get grounded to the moment. And the more often you do that, the more likely you are to stay in that space for longer periods of time. And even that can have really profound effects on your wellness and your health. We can add more time to that 30 seconds gradually. Staying present and mindful with the breath for a minute. Let's just do that for a minute, relatively. Just keeping your attention on the breath, letting everything else wander out of your consciousness. Your thoughts or feelings or sensations that wander in, just let them float away. Just notice what comes up in this 1 minute. Just mindfully paying attention to your breath. And just noticing what comes up. One thing that you'll start to notice with regularity is where in your body you're holding on to tension. And then you can mindfully remind yourself to relax, particularly focusing your awareness on the part of your body that's holding that tension. And then noticing with each repeat of the word relax, that your muscles in that area that are holding on to tension, they just let go slowly. Relax. Relax. And generally repeating the word 3 times can have a significant impact on our muscles, just relaxing, letting go of tension. So just this tiny extension of that 30 seconds to a little bit of a deeper mindfulness. And just really kind of working and massaging those mindfulness muscles, programming them to be responsive to that mindfulness, reminding them to relax. It's something you can do any time of the day, periodically. You can set up a routine for yourself. Do it first thing in the morning when you wake up, before lunch, before bed. Great thing to do in the shower. It's a great thing to do before or after you have a class that you take or teach, or an appointment, or a presentation, or an interview. It doesn't have to take longer than a minute to be really effective. One misconception of mindfulness is that we need to be shutting off our brains. We need to be in quiet and silence, and not have any thoughts. But really, that's been scientifically proven to be impossible, because that's what our brain does, right? It produces thoughts. And so the goal is actually to not hold on to the thoughts that are going to inevitably come up, to not attach anything to those thoughts. We're not judging them, we're not labeling them. We're just building awareness that they come up. We don't have to hold on to them. We can just let them disappear. We can put them on a cloud and watch the wind blow the cloud. We can put them on a leaf and watch the leaf blow away. This process of noticing the thoughts that come up and letting them float away becomes easier with practice. And it is true that the more practice and the more experience you have in meditation, the more likely you are to have fewer intrusive thoughts, or that you're so adept at noticing and letting them go that they're barely intrusive. They're barely there, even though they may come up just as often. That was one of the most important things that I learned about meditation practice after many, many years of practicing and feeling frustrated that I wasn't good at it. And that was a real turning point for me in my awareness and in my practice. Another sort of tip in demystifying meditation is to use self-reflection and to know that meditation is going to be different for everybody. And it's going to be different even for yourself, sometimes on a day-to-day basis. And putting that into a context of self-care, what I have found to be really useful is a check-in process. Often in the morning, but frequently throughout the day as well. Check in with myself. When that alarm goes off, what do I need? Checking in with how I'm feeling emotionally, physically, spiritually. Do I need a little bit more sleep? Do I need to stretch? Do I need to meditate? Do I need an extra long shower? Do I need a walk? So using a designated time for myself, but with shifting the expectation that I am responding to my own self-reflection and my own need in that moment. And that self-reflection is also meditation. It's a way of tuning in, being present, of connecting mind, body, and spirit, and of getting to know yourself and your needs and what keeps you well and balanced. Another really effective tool, it's really active meditation, is correcting cognitive distortions and helping yourself to lessen your worry, to reframe anxieties, concerns. So last night, my son had a really hard time sleeping, which is pretty common. And so that means that I don't get very good sleep because I'm up and down. So this morning was hard. It was hard for me to wake up and feel well, and hard for my son to wake up and want to get out of bed. Hard to get out of the house on time. And then things feel hard. I have a busy day, I'm worried, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, we're hurrying. And so I took the ride to drop him off to school as a chance to do this meditation process with him of really correcting some of those distortions and getting into a different frame of mind. Some of that is normalizing that some nights are going to be harder than others. And that's okay. You can kind of feel the tension release from your body through this process of normalizing and correcting these cognitive distortions that we hold on to. Some mornings we're just not going to have it. We're just not going to feel as well. We're not going to want to get going. Things feel a little harder, a little heavier. And that's normal. That's a typical human experience, and it's okay. And that it's not a fault. It's not a frailty. It's not a character flaw. It's just a human experience. You don't have to judge it or hold on to it. You don't have to put that somewhere in our pile of worries or self-identity or in our bodies somewhere lodged in as tension or pain or dis-ease. We can let it go by just being present. And then I held my son's hand. I reached back in the car and I held his hand through this whole conversation. He's 5. And I talked about what I'm grateful for. I said, yep, I'm stressed. And the day is it's a long day and there's a lot of things, but I'm so glad to be with you. And I love my job. And it's a beautiful day. And I'm safe and sound. And just talking through that out loud for myself and also to teach him. And that's a meditation. And it's not Pollyanna, right? But it shifts our energy, our perception. It shifts any dis-ease that we might be kind of allowing to settle into our bodies if we're going into our day feeling stressed, especially if we're judging ourselves for that. All of these check-ins, these processes of being mindful and working on mindfulness muscles shifting those cognitive distortions, normalizing, being grateful. Those are all different methods of meditation. Now, this is not about being good at meditation, being bad at meditation. That is very accessible. Allows us to feel in control of our own bodies and our emotions and our responses to stress and our responses to stimuli, because they're never going to stop, right? Stress and stimulation is going to come at us. So really feeling capable of responding from a place of groundedness and relaxation, positivity, non-judgment. It allows us to manage and go through a day that might be stressful, or all the stressful things that we experience as humans, with more grace and wellness. So just sit with that information, just a few minutes, just focusing on the breath, just allowing yourself to be human. Maybe a little more insight into how you might apply meditation to your daily life. Just relax. 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 And grounding yourself even further by being present in your body right now. I'm going to go from the head down to the feet today. You bring that kind of swirling energy that is around our crowns, just are often open. We're going to just bring that energy down to our heads, to our necks, just feeling and imagining and having a sense of just pulling that swirling energy. Just pull it down. It's just a straight line down through the midline of our body, down to the spine, down through our abdomen, our organs, to our midline, our waist, and our pelvic area, and all the way down our legs, through the soles of our feet, and just grounding deep into the earth. Just feel that pull. Not rough, but just enough that you can feel the sensation of just being pulled to be grounded. And for feet, hopefully are planted on the floor. You might just spend a minute putting your awareness on the soles of your feet just being flat and planted. Maybe even feeling heavy. Maybe you feel other sensations, tingling, temperature changes. Just keeping your awareness on the soles of your feet grounded to the earth. Always remembering to let any intrusive thoughts just float away. Coming back to the awareness of your feet. Just being in a state of expectancy as opposed to expectation, where you're just open, curious to whatever comes up, whatever you notice, whatever is presenting itself, and you're just noticing without judgment. And no matter what process you're in, you can always come back to your breath. Just generally with your eyes closed and looking to that third eye spot where your glabella is and that bone between your eyebrows. And you just look at that spot with your eyes closed, just noticing the breath going in and out, not changing it, just noticing. Just paying attention to what comes up in your body, in your consciousness. And if you happen to be noticing that you're holding on to tension, just release that breath with a deep exhale. Relax. 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 Just slowly bringing your awareness back to this physical space. Continuing to let out some deep exhales, but starting to open your eyes slowly. Move your hands, your fingers, stretch if you need to stretch. And just coming back to the moment, looking around, continuing to stretch different parts of your body. Also, contrary to popular belief, you do not need to stand absolutely still. There's moving meditation, walking meditation. If you're in pain or you're uncomfortable and you're hanging on to tension because you think you're not supposed to move, it's definitely doing more harm than good. So hopefully I've been able to kind of demystify and break down some misconceptions of meditation today. I hope that was helpful. And that everybody got at least one takeaway. Maybe feel a little bit more relaxed. And that brings us to the end. So thank you so much for being here, Jessica, Alicia, Daniela, Karina, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Scott got to stay. Hi, Alicia. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to see you. I took away many things. Thank you.
Great. Have a good week, everyone.
You too. Bye.